so here's basically a completed bottom assembly right here. Here's the piece I just put on. Don't skimp on this piece and not use it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan and I'm with Skyline Acres. And as you can tell, I'm here in my workshop and I've got our chicken coop behind us. And today we are going to be building some chicken PVC pipe feeders. So let's get to it. So probably, I don't know, 8 years ago or something, I built these exact same feeders for our other chicken coop and they are still in use today. And I like them so much that I've decided to basically rebuild them and make the exact same thing for our new updated chicken coop. So getting right into it here, on this table is primarily everything you need other than the actual pipe, which I'll show you in a minute, but I use 4-inch PVC. That's what I used on my last one, and that's what I'm gonna be using on this one. So for each feeder, let's say, you're gonna need a 90, and all these are what they call street fittings, guys, which means it's basically, in simple terms, it's larger on one end and smaller on the other. And so you need a 90 and you need a 45, okay? That way, by buying street fittings, they'll fit together like this and you don't need a short connector piece of pipe in there. I just realized I did leave off one thing off this table that you also need. This is a cap and you need 2 of them per feeder. On the top of the feeder, you know, out here, this is gonna cap the pipe, keep raining all out. And then what we're also gonna do is cut this pipe in half, cut this cap in half, and then that half of this is gonna fit over your output of the feed here. And it's gonna cover half of this like this and make it so the chickens can get feed out, but they can't scratch it out and make a big mess. And let me tell you, this helps a lot. And last but not least, guys, you need the actual 4-inch pipe, which is here. And you might be able to get it in 5-foot lengths at Lowe's and Home Depot. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build 4 feeders. So I'm gonna cut each of these 10-footers in half. So I found it easier to assemble basically the small part first and then take all of this and attach it to your pipe. I'm gonna take the big end right here and I'm gonna clamp it to my workbench just to kind of, you know, be a third hand here. And then the thing is, you want the 45 piece, you know, you don't want it cockeyed, you want it straight with the other piece. Well, on the PVC, it actually has casting marks on it, which is right dead center on it. And then this has that black mark, there's actually a raised mark kind of like that, or that, but there's one in the middle as well. I just Sharpied it for the video. But we're gonna glue this up. So we're gonna take the primer first and do both parts. Okay. I do like this clear. It just doesn't drip purple down all over your pipe. Okay. All right, now we'll pour cement on. There's no order to do this. I'm going anywhere. So it's going to be a pipe socket pipe. The other thing, you guys, is you probably, if you were to have these inside the coop, say you have a building style coop, you would probably get about 5 glue these. All right, so there's the glue, the cement. You go set this on, gotta work quickly. I'm gonna rotate this a 1/4 turn while I do it. Like that. Got it lined up perfect. Hold it down for about 30 seconds. So moving on to the cap. You gotta cut these caps in half, like I said, and then that's gonna keep the feed from being scratched out and everything and really save you on waste. So what I did, a 4-inch PVC cap just happens to measure 5 inches outside dimension. So I came up 2.5, I held this thing in one spot and I came up 2.5 inches and marked it all over. Now what I think I'm gonna do, just because it's what I thought of in the moment, take some tape, because see this is rounded here. So you can't really use a straight edge. So I'm gonna take some tape, put it on the line, and then make a Sharpie line here, and that way I'll have kind of a cut line. I thought about leaving the tape on there for the actual cut, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna trace around the outside. And like I said, being as the cap's not flat, the tape was the easiest option I came up with. I'm sure there's a million other ways to do it. All right, let's see what we got. There we go. There's our cut line. All right, guys, so I got my pieces cut perfectly in half, and you can see that cut is like amazing. The reason is because I used my miter saw, and my miter saw is the one that's got that, it's called the shadow guide for the blade, and you can just line that up right on the line, because you got to remember there's no way to square this against the miter saw fence. So you line that shadow guide up on your mark. I tell you what, it gives you an amazing cut. Quick little side note too, as far as getting this perfect, as long as you cut your piece in half, pretty much dead on, there's a center line down the pipe here. So if you line this up to that center line right there, it should be on the center line on that side. Right there you go. And that way it gets it straight across here. So I center punched it to keep it from walking. Now, I just eyeballed where it's gonna go on here. It's not important. Got a 3/16 drill bit. I'm gonna drill through here. Don't have to worry about it moving with that clamp on there. All right, there we go. Backside seems really clean, so I don't want to show you that and move stuff around. But all we're gonna do is take our longer rivets, insert them in the hole. The important part is to use backing plates, okay? Basically a washer, but because this is plastic, you want to use a backing plate. So we're going to put the backing plate on the rivet and then do the rivet. I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. I just don't want to move stuff around right now. It's a little bit of a juggle holding everything. All right, so the backing plate is all the way up. Rivet guns right here. So if we flip this around, there's your rivet there. And on the inside, I hope you can see that, but your rivet is right there and your backing plate's on the bottom. And that rivet is the perfect length. So here's basically a completed bottom assembly right here. Here's the piece I just put on. Don't skimp on this piece and not use it. If you just have this open pipe here, they'll get in there and kick a whole bunch out. But there's the bottom view with the rivets. I mean, that thing is solid as a rock. There's the inside view. Okay, so the only other really thing to do, guys, and you're done, this is going to set in your coop like this. The only other thing to do is measure how tall you want your pipe to be, cut it, and glue it down in here. So that's going to be the next step. And then I got to repeat this 3 more times. All right, so I got a length marked out here where I want it. And I'm going to cut here. Final step on the feeder here. So let me get some of this out of the way. These clamps don't have quite enough big enough throat to hold this grate, but hopefully it holds. So all we got to do is attach our assembly onto the pipe here, making sure it goes up to the Sharpie. We'll try to do this here without making too much of a mess. You're gonna do the pipe first. This is all new instructions, by the way. I guess somebody figured out that when this square helps, so might as well. I think you guys, you could probably like sheet metal screw all this stuff together if you wanted to make it disassemblable. If you wanted to make it able to be disassembled. This stuff fits together tight. It might even be practically watertight from rain getting into the feed. Even with the screws and everything in. So there we are. Let's go ahead and put her on. Right here is that completed feeder. You got one completed feeder right here. This is the back side of the chicken coop. I encourage y'all to go out and check out the build on this. I don't want to get into that on this video. I want to make it about the feeders, but I'm going to continue to do other stuff to this coop. But anyways, here's how they will mount. Now you got to remember there's going to be a substrate in the bottom that's going to bring it, way up the ground level. So here it is. Got a clamp there, roughly, wherever it's going to go. And then you'll take your cap here, you'll fill it here, and you'll take your cap and just cap it, and that's just a slip fit, and rain won't get in there. Let me get you around on the other side here. Okay. There's the view of it there. I'm going to have your pipe strap right here, and I think what I'm going to do is put a 2x6 along right here, figure out where that goes right here, probably up against this lip here, and then put another pipe strap right here and have two pipe straps holding it. So I just wanted to show y'all how I was going to do the feeders on this new chicken coop. This design, is great. I love it. I know it works. You can adapt it to a shed style chicken coop or whatever. So it works great. Speaking of this chicken coop, guys, I've been building it for a while. Started it before I started the YouTube channel, so I don't really have any build videos. But what basically ended up happening was I got all the construction done, the framing, the siding, all that stuff. And basically I knew I was down to this other stuff like the PVC pipe feeders. I had to build this waterer that I was building, and I got down to that kind of stuff, and I basically just stopped working on it for a little bit and did some other projects. I've got a big push to get this thing done. I've got some nice hardware cloth ordered, the plastic coated type. It's metal, but the plastic coated type. All of that. It's not going to take much to finish this. So if you guys enjoyed this video and would also like to see future ones, including this chicken coop, please go out there and give our channel a like and a subscribe. It really helps us out. And on that note, we will see you again next time on the Skyline Acres channel.